Hello there, good morning, and you're watching QTV this morning. I am your host, Jennifer Sonko, and joined by my amazing co-host, Ibrahim Balde.
Hey, Jennifer, we are back again.
How was your night?
Yeah, I had a very good one.
Okay.
Yesterday, though I didn't leave the office very early.
Yeah, we were here together.
Yes, but I went home, relaxed, watched TV, played with the kids, family, you know, attire.
But hope you did not have a heavy dinner. Yesterday, because you talked about losing weight and I've not seen any development.
Well, dinner is my thing. I cannot let dinner go.
So what do you normally have for dinner? Do you have fruits or rice or sauce?
For me, I like things like porridge.
That's perfect for dinner.
I take porridge.
Okay.
I take the gari,
that's
the dugula.
The dugula, that's good.
That I take
yeah,
for
I
dinner.
think we're different. My dinner normally is so heavy and it's so bad, and I've been advised that it's something that I need to work on, like to have like porridge, like you said, and maybe fruits or something. But I guess it's just a general thing in Gambia whereby our dinner normally is very heavy and not light.
It's not advisable.
It's not advisable at all.
To be eating rice all the time.
No, not
rice for lunch, rice for dinner. You know, sometimes
it's a bad idea.
Rice for breakfast. I've seen my Jola people taking
you were teasing them.
Mbahal for breakfast.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's an issue. So Ibrahim, today I decided to be a little bit African, silky but African. This is provided by Marifa. So before I leave, I'll just give her contact. I really love it. It has an African and European touch.
It looks comfortable.
It is comfy. Yeah, it is comfortable. Yes.
And it's light. What's the name of this material? I mean, it looks very light.
It is light.
Yes.
So it's from Marifa, and that's how she decided to just call it. So I'll just give her number before we leave here. So viewers, if you're just tuning in, this is QTV's This Morning program. Before we go into our favorite segment of this program, which is the motivational quote, I'll just give a rundown of some of the things that we have today. So we have the motivational quote, and today we'll be taking a look at an African proverb, and we have the newspaper review. And once again, we're joined by our colleague, Ade Darami, here to help us analyze some of the stories that we have on the papers. And we also have Community Watch, and today we'll be taking a look at tree planting exercise, and on social issues we'll be taking a look at human trafficking 2021 trafficking in persons report, and we'll be joined by Yusuf Asanyang, communications officer for NATIP. And also we have the entertainment update, so we'll be joined by Skengman Sweezy to take us through some of the developments in the entertainment scene in the country. So what is our motivational quote for the morning?
Jennifer, we moved from motivational quotes. So a few days back, we decided to bring some proverbs. It's important.
African.
These are African sayings. These are things that most of our elders use, and it's important for us to keep them alive. For us to keep them rolling. Do not look where you fell, but where you slipped.
Okay. So what does this tell you? Is it something that you take into consideration in your life?
Yes. Sometimes do not look where the problem is right now, but where it started. Because action leads to reaction.
Sure.
It's important for you to look at it.
Yeah.
People tend to forget where they started.
Yeah.
And when things are okay, sometimes when things are okay, they forgot the past.
Yeah.
It's telling you, do not forget the past.
Yeah, so this is more like, don't look at your mistakes, but look at the course of the mistake. Along the line, when you're walking towards achieving something, most of the time there are challenges. So when it doesn't work out, don't take a look at the bigger picture, the fact that it didn't work, but some of the challenges that actually led to that particular thing that you were trying to achieve did not work. So I guess sometimes that is the mistake that we have. And few times we've talked about the fact that some of the mistakes that you make are actually a win for you, because you get to learn from them, and from there you move on. So for me, that is the connection that I'm trying to put here. Sometimes some of these challenges, you have to look at them, and then it might lead to some sort of, you know, winning at some point in time when you take a look at these things and combine them. So I think it's a challenge sometimes, because sometimes we take a look at the bigger picture instead of some of these little things that
you can also put it this way. I mean, don't look at where the problem is right now. Maybe the level of the like the level that the problem.
What led to it actually?
Yes, but look what led to it. You understand?
Okay.
So it's important for you to look back, know the problem. It's a matter of knowing where the problem is and bringing solutions.
And then next time you'll be able to achieve whatever that you wanted to.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think we'll be having more of African proverbs because they tend to have like a deeper meaning. This is like deeper than the other ones that we've had because sometimes it has to come with you thinking critically to actually know what it means rather than just the surface bit of it.
The importance of African proverbs is, I mean, these proverbs have directed many people in a very positive route.
Sure,
you understand?
Sure.
Most of the elders will tell you, do not do this, do not do that. This proverb said this, this proverb said that. You understand?
We live our life
these are
towards
things
those
these are things that you have to be thinking. You understand? So these will lead you to a very positive direction.
And for the first time, we've never actually engaged our guests in relation to a proverb, but I'm looking at Mr. Ade sitting here with us right now, and I can feel that urge that he wants to actually contribute when it comes to this proverb. So I'm going to give him the opportunity for the first time on the program. Welcome.
I was bursting to get in there because the particular proverb, and it's good that we're moving from the quotes to African proverbs because, as you rightly say, some of them are really good. And this particular one, you know, I take the analogy. It's like somebody ended up in jail and they're bemoaning the fact they're in jail.
Yeah.
They're not thinking about what led to them being in jail. So it's like, you know, not where you fell, which is eventually where, but where you slipped. Where did the slip, where did the mistake occur that landed you in jail?
Yeah.
That's what you need to address. So very, very
that's
profound.
That's a very good one. Do not look where you fell, but where you slipped.
Yeah.
It's important.
And then you move on and achieve greater things through the mistakes that you've learned along the way.
Hopefully, yeah.
All right, so moving on, we will take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we will delve right onto the newspaper review. And once again, like I said, we're joined by our colleague Ade Drami to help us analyze some of the stories that we have on the papers. To stay tuned.
Best product in town is back. QCell's MiFi router. Get the best MiFi in the country for just $2,800 and connect up to 15 users with 4G internet speeds and a long-lasting battery life. So rush now to any of our customer care locations and get the best for less while stocks last. For more info, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Boss, the Gambia's quality network. We innovate, others follow.
That short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning, and I'm joined by my amazing co-host Ibrahim Abalde.
Yeah,
what is
Jenna,
on the point this morning?
It's good to be here.
Yes.
On the Point newspaper today, we have police reportedly arrest man 25 for murder. And let's take a look at the courts. High Court Assistant Bailey faces charges of obtaining money by false pretense, fraud. VP Toure says NES aims to increase Gambia's economic development. And of course, Jenna, let's take a look at sports.
Okay,
let's do some sports here.
Do some sports.
Ibrahim Sohna signs for Fortune FC.
All right, interesting.
Interesting.
So moving on the Standard newspaper, we have Turo Dabo buys 3 presidential planes. We also have revising courts to start September 6th. Lawmakers speak on Barrow's plan to introduce law against insults. We also have NPP to organize youth rally to discourage politics of insults. Barrow will remain president until he chooses to quit. Gambia to get $85 million allocation from IMF. That is all we have on the Standard.
Okay, let's take a look at the daily news. Barrow sells one of President Jammeh's aircraft. And of course, Combo South NAM discredit defection story from UDP to NPP. GPA and partners converge to validate the labor scheme. KMC Mayor says local government PS response is political.
All right,
that's what we have, Jenna.
We have APRC and GDC open to talk, but alliance depends on outcome of meeting. Gambia to get $85 million from IMF. Jammeh aircraft sold at $500,000. We also have passengers call for good road network. That is all we have on both.
Okay, that's fine.
Moving on, like I mentioned, we're joined by Ade Durami to help us analyze some of the stories that we have on the papers. And something very interesting here when it comes to Gambia's finance and benefits from IMF. We have Gambia to get $85 million allocation from IMF. Are you a big fan of foreign aid?
I'm not, because a lot of it comes with conditions. And sometimes those conditions can be quite strict.
All right.
And we say Gambia to get 85 million from IMF. This is the same IMF and World Bank that put out a report just 2-3 months ago saying that Gambians sent $588 million to the Gambia in remittances through official means. So if you look at it, they probably sent $1 billion through those means. So 85 million, it's good, it's welcome, but let's look at the detail. You know, what are the conditions? So whenever I see a story like that, I'm always intrigued, and I don't get swept away with excitement for them, because as I say, Gambians are contributing more than that to their own country. So, yeah.
Okay. So you're in line with the fact that also remittances should be structured. I know we talked about this a lot of times, and at some point, it should be structured. What do you think? They
should, 100%. I worked on a couple of schemes in Sierra Leone where we tried to do exactly that. We said to people, don't just send money for, you know, your relatives to be able to pay for Q Power, buy food and so on. Send money for them to start a business. But bizarrely, we interviewed some people about 4 or 5 months ago, and people had sent money, $1,500 each for 5 people, to use the so-called back way to go to Europe, not use that money, $6,000, $7,500, use it to start a business in the Gambia, use it to go the back way. Is a case, I don't know if you remember, when 37 people were arrested, and we interviewed some of the people, and that was what they told us. And so I do believe that we should be using it in a structured way, and the scheme in Sierra Leone seemed to have gone well. It's over 10 years ago, and it could be replicated here if people are encouraged.
Ibrahima, you know what's funny, and Ade, the thing is, if you take a look at some of the tech fee funds and some of the funds that have been given to young people to start businesses in the country, it's $1,000. Yeah, it's $50,000 at the end of the day. Yeah, and we've seen success stories. I'm not saying there's not room for improvement when it comes to the funds that they're given, but you could see that it's the same amount that you just talked about, and there are success stories attached to it.
Absolutely. You know,
Mr. Ade, what will happen to a country that rely on foreign aid? What will happen to that country?
Well, it's interesting you say that, because you know, there are some countries that become addicted to it, and you know, each country has to find a way of you know, designing something better, because if there comes a time when that foreign aid is taken away, you're then left in big trouble. And so every country needs to diversify its economy. COVID has forced countries like the Gambia, countries like Cape Verde, that depended heavily on tourism, to actually look at alternatives, to say, you know, look at what this has done to our economy. These industries, these sectors used to contribute so much. It's been taken away from us. What do we do now? And so, you know, for me, that's the one good thing of COVID. It's forced us not to be too dependent on one single sector, and just to diversify our economies. And the Gambia needs to do the same.
In Africa, we've been receiving a lot of foreign aid for a very long time. And every day Africans are complaining, Mr. Ade.
You know, again, I go back to, you know, you said a lot of foreign aid. People hear $85 million, and it sounds like a lot. But I've just given you the example of Gambians sending $500 million through you know, structured, formal sources. So the people who give us the aid always try and make that we're very dependent on aid. We're not. Gambians might be too dependent on remittances, but we're certainly not dependent on foreign aid, because we send more in remittances than we get in foreign aid. But that's never the narrative that you hear.
All right.
Absolutely.
So moving on, let's talk politics a little bit. We've seen that NPP, to organize youth rally to discourage politics of insults. On this particular program, we've been advocating for political parties to come out and talk about the issue of insults and actually urging their militants to actually stop it at some point. So is this a move in the right direction?
It has to be. But, you know, like everything else in our country, it has to be more than just talk.
Okay.
Let's see the action. Because, you know, people might go, they'll validate this policy of no insults, and the next week you'll hear people insulting each other. So talk is cheap. You know, let's see the action.
Yeah.
It's not just NPP, every party has come out and said exactly the same. Well, if you're all saying that this is not good, so why are people throwing insults?
Yeah.
Some of them must belong to some of the political parties.
Yeah.
But for, you know, NPP, and I think it's the youth wing,
yeah.
Because we were saying yesterday when we were discussing the papers that, you know, don't let yourself be used by politics to do violence, to hurl insults at people. So it's good, and it's a positive thing, but I think we will judge them by their actions, not their words.
Okay.
Well, it's a matter of abiding by the rules and regulations if they are established. But we've been having a whole lot of this in this country for a very long time. But it's not working.
It's not unique.
Not only Gambia,
Yeah.
but I can say the world at large, Mr. Ade. But still, we are hearing insults.
Yeah.
You take the American last election and the last 4 or 5 elections in America, they've been absolutely dominated by insults. And the Americans try and tell people that, you know, we're a kind of the world's, you know, sort of premier democracy. It's not, because their politics has been the politics of insults for many years. And we've got nothing to learn from them. I mean, look at how their last president misbehaved, even to the extent of disputing the election, putting out this claim that he'd been defrauded out of the election. So, you know, let us, you know, do the decent thing ourselves because it's the right thing to do. We don't need anybody coming to teach us anything. But as I said, we need to say what we mean and mean what we say. You know, it's all right saying, you know, let's not insult each other. Well, let's live up to it.
Don't you think the biggest problem we have in Africa is politics? Although we have other problems, but politics is one of the biggest problems.
Politics is both the problem and the solution. Everything you do in your life is governed by politics. The school you go to, whether you have good schools, good hospitals, good roads. So you can't absolve yourself and say, oh, I'm not involved in politics. Politics will involve you, whether you want to or not. So politics is both the problem and the solution. And again, yesterday I was mentioning that, you know, we've had leaders across, there are about 7 leaders across Africa who've been in power for more than 30 years. You know, politics in Africa is done in a strange way. I know Africa is not a single country, but it's kind of odd that we have more dictators than any country.
I had a chat with someone, and this guy told me, Paul Kagame of Rwanda. He's a dictator. That's what he said. But he said, I love this type of dictator, a dictator that empowers his people, a dictator that dies for his country.
But is there a good dictator?
Is there a possibility, or is it right for a dictator to stay for many years, you know, as far as his people are comfortable with it?
It's
a good dictator exists.
Is there a good, they have what they call a benign dictatorship. I'm not aware of anywhere, including in Rwanda. And Kagame would dispute the fact that he's a dictator because he has put himself up for elections. Remarkably, at the last election, he scored 98.3%, which I disputed because I've been doing some business in Rwanda with some friends, and they are Rwandans, and they were very much Kagame supporters. And I said, if you look at the results from some of the districts, even some of his opponents, their families and their party members would have had to have voted for Kagame to get 98.3%. It's ridiculous. But he did. But Rwanda is one of the most developed, one of the best in terms of education, in so many reasons and in so many ways. And, you know, countries, Western countries are going there and actually opening businesses, starting factories and so on. And Rwanda have designed the first ever completely made in Africa smartphone. Mara phone came out in June 2019.
And they're working on a car as well.
I have one upstairs.
Yeah, they're working on that.
And this was not just assembled, but made, completely made in Rwanda. So they're setting, and they've just gone into Mozambique and cleaned up Cabo Delgado province, where the Mozambique army could not do it for a whole year. Rwanda did it in 3 weeks.
Wow.
They said it's among the cleanest cities in the world.
Kigali, yes, it certainly is.
Well, that kind of leadership, it's great, Mr. Ali, don't you think so?
So that was news beyond our borders. Let's come back to Gambia.
Sure.
A little bit.
I hope you're going to do something on the revising courts.
Yes, so that is what I'm heading to now, because we know the revising courts to start September 6th, which gives Gambian citizens an opportunity to go check if their names are spelled right and if they have any dispute in relation to this. And just yesterday on the news, we mentioned the different administrative regions that they'll be sitting, and a first-class magistrate will be presiding over all of these cases.
A lot of contestation around the registration of voters. We just ended. The revising courts will be sitting from 60 days from the 6th of September. And a lot of this contestation came from allegations that people who are foreigners who should not have registered were registered, that children registered. I think the proof of the pudding is always in the eating. When we see the challenges to some of these registrations, then we will know whether people registered with fake ID, whether people who are not eligible to register did in fact register. I think it's going to be very interesting, because I can't think of another time when there's going to be so much focus on the revising courts, because there are so many of these rumors, and some of them were fake stories, you know, old children. Sometimes people told a child to stand in line just to keep their place in the queue, but people then said, oh, that child is registering. Some of them look like 10 years old. Who the hell is going to register a 10-year-old child? You know, so this will be where it will be proved or disproved, and I think it's a very good thing, and I'm certainly looking forward, and we'll be covering it, of course, because it's going to be.
So now is the time for Gambians to go and check to see if their names are right and all of that, and if they obviously have any complaint.
And including those who suspect their neighbors of being non-Gambians who register, because we heard a lot of that as well. You can go and check that as well.
But the truth is, sometimes Gambians make a lot of noise as well, but they're afraid of the courts. That is a problem in Gambia, because sometimes issues happen, and the moment court comes up, then they're done with it.
Although I think the revising courts are slightly different, even though there'll be first-class magistrates presiding over them. It's a different sort of thing, you know, it's not the kind of strict thing where you're being cross-examined or anything like that. It's more checking detail and checking ID, and that's what it's going to be more about.
So Ibrahima, let's move on to development a little bit and taking a look at roads. Because in the story, we've seen passengers call for good road network. And now, luckily, we've seen President Adama Barrow building roads and bridges. But a big question remains, Gambians in relation to what they want. Because you could see that sometimes people say, he's more focused on building roads and bridges than in other sectors. And now these people are complaining of poor roads. That the good. So what is the problem? Are we confused, or what is the issue? Because sometimes they're like, roads are not important. Next minute, now these people are saying they want good roads, and President Barrow is working on roads. So I can't get it.
I'll hold my hands up and say I'm one of those ones who believe you can never accuse somebody of concentrating too much on roads and bridges. If you want serious development in any country, roads are very, very important. And one has to say the road network thus far in the Gambia has been extremely poor. There's no two ways about it. You can't sugarcoat that one. And so for a president to actually focus on roads, trust me, we should all be celebrating. Because the only way we can connect with each other, we can transact, we can move goods, people. Even take an example where somebody is critically ill and you're having to take them on a road from their house to the hospital, or even get an ambulance to them, and that ambulance is having to transact, you know, go on really, really bad, bumpy roads. Look, don't even go there, because a president has to, if he or she is serious in any country, concentrate on roads, on networks. You know, years ago, Kwame Nkrumah made this joke. You know, it was announced in 1962 or whatever that one day America would get somebody on the moon. And Nkrumah said, isn't it ironic that America is planning to land somebody on the moon one day, and we Africans are still struggling to get from our towns and our cities back to our home villages.
Nothing has changed. Beyond.
Nothing has changed.
And we've seen excitement in the Upper River region as the president is about to launch the bridge and the roads.
Look, it's going to be a life changer for people.
One thing I've seen the government of the day doing its roads. I mean, they are very bad roads when it comes before. Like when you go to the rural area. But you can see now all these routes are under construction. Sure. Mr. Ade, it's important. Don't you think people are in a haze for development? Sometimes it's not easy to do these things once. It's a gradual process. But
you know, I've said this 100 times. In human beings, there is one thing in our DNA that we have, no matter what race you are, and that is impatience. We want everything done today. You know, we could put up with a terrible situation for 100 years. The minute somebody comes and says, I might help to change this, we want that person to change it today. And so that impatience will always be there. It's part of our nature not to be satisfied. I mean, how many times have you heard somebody who they say, oh, this guy was a millionaire, he struggled to make his business and so on, and then you hear he committed suicide because he was unhappy. It is innate in human beings not to be happy with our condition. You know, no matter what you have, it's almost like you want something more. It's not always material things that you want, but I think in human beings there's this kind of dissatisfaction. So sometimes we get what we want, but we want more.
Mr. Ade, is there any point where a man will be satisfied in life?
I think my previous answer tells you no, because I think it's in us.
I did economics, and that was the first thing that I was told by my lecturers, that the wants of man is not ending. You know, it comes all the time. But before you leave, something very important on the Point newspaper that has to do with GPA trying to review a labor scheme. Sure. So let's talk about working conditions in Gambia and how these things can be improved. They just validated it, and you talked about validating documents and not going back to implement them. Sure. So I'm just wondering what deliberate policy you think can be put in place to make sure that working conditions are good for Gambians, you know?
I mean, it should be the same in every country, but unfortunately it's not. In the countries where good labor laws have come in, it's mainly because of unions. Strong unions have forced governments, forced employers to actually create good conditions for workers. Now, unless there is that threat sometimes of a strike action or something, even in England, even in America, in Europe, across Europe, those laws never changed. But for me, it doesn't have to get to that. You know, I think you should appeal to the decency of your employer, be it the government or private sector, to say, you know, give us good conditions. And of course, there are many private sector companies that have given good conditions, working conditions for their workers, and that should be the same for everybody. But it doesn't come by magic.
It doesn't come by magic, right? It's supposed to be worked on. So we will follow this validated document and see how best the GPA will be able to implement it. Thank you so much, Ade Durami, for joining us on the newspaper review. It's always good to have you here. Are we having you here tomorrow?
I think I might even be here for the
so you're staying with us for the community watch? Okay, that's fine. All right, it's always good to have you here. You can stay.
I enjoy it.
You like it here, it seems.
I'm refusing to go.
I know. So viewers, we will take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we will continue with the community watch, and we'll be taking a look at tree planting exercise. Do stay tuned.
With Aji Bank, you can make your vehicle number plate payments without any hassle. Walk into any of our bank branches or agencies located at Banjul, New Joswang, Karaba Avenue, Bakote, Tranquil Brusubi, Brikama, Basse, Farafenye, Numuyel or Garawal. Your number plate payments now made easy with Aji Bank. For more information, please call us on 422-8405 or 377-5811. Aji Bank, your investment partner. Now, with Aji Bank, you can make your vehicle number plate payments without any hassle. Walk into any of our bank branches or agencies located at Banjul, New Joswang, Karaba Avenue, Bakote, Tranquil Brusubi, Brikama, Basse, Farafenye, Numuyel or Garawal. Your number plate payments now made easy with Aji Bank. For more information, please call us on 422-8405 or 377-5811. Aji Bank, your investment partner. The
best product in town is back. QCell's MiFi router. Get the best MiFi in the country for just $2,800 and connect up to 15 users with 4G internet speeds and a long-lasting battery life. So rush now to any of our customer care locations and get the best for less while stocks last. For more info, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Boss, the Gambia's quality network. We innovate, others follow.
Right time, right place, right price. Promote your product, business, and brand to millions of viewers nationwide or across the globe. Call QTV Marketing on 32-44444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm for all your advertisement needs. QTV Gambia, right place.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning, and we wanted to have Ade Derame continue for the session, but it seems we have a representative from Block Kaponga Youth Development Association and Sajo Jaju, and you'll be taking us through the tree planting exercise that took place in Block. But before we engage you in relation to that, we will take a look at the short video, and when we come back, you will take us through.
This was a thick forest, but now not much is left. In a drive to restore the community forest, the youth of the community planted at least 1,500 seedlings of different tree species. Ismail Ajame is the president of the Block Kaponga Youth Development Association. He says they are planting the trees to restore the lost forest cover for the benefit of future generations.
It's very important to plant the trees. As you can see, the forest right now, if you check around, the big trees are almost done. They are all finished. But now, if you leave it like that, we need to replace it like with trees. Yeah, so that's why we are doing this, taking this step to replace the trees that we are already cut down.
Despite being a community initiative, several others joined the Kaponga Youth's annual event to support the initiative. Tree planting is one of the ways in which the environment could be protected and could help in the mitigation of climate change.
I will just try to encourage other young people so that at least, let's try by all means, we try and plant more trees in our environment so that at least, we are complaining of deforestation, and other things in our environment. So that at least, this planting of these trees can help us in many ways.
Women and girls form the majority in this exercise.
Welcome back from that break. Women and girls form the majority of the tree planting exercise. Interesting. Sajo Jaju, Secretary, Block Kaponga Youth Development Association. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Jennifer, for having me on this morning.
All right. So is it deliberate to have women and children participate in this?
Why
that move?
That was our last Facebook page post.
Okay.
On our Facebook page, that women participation is more than men. So if you look at even the ratio in the association, we have more women than men.
All right. And you're involving children. Is it to inculcate that tree planting habit in them?
That is excellent.
All right.
Yeah.
So I know you've been into tree planting because Gajaga there just talked about the fact that it's an annual event.
Yes.
So do you go back sometimes to check on the trees, just to make sure, because planting trees is one thing, but then, looking after it to make sure it grows is another thing. I've seen a particular organization whereby when children plant trees, they attach them to those trees and they will come and look after them. So what sustainability mechanism do you put in place to make sure that these things at least, are meaningful at some point?
Yeah, for us at Block Kaponga is different. Normally, whenever we plant tree, we wait for 3 months. Okay. After 3 months of every tree planting, we organize what we call a spot weeding. Oh. That was a recommendation from Department of Forestry, and then we are going by it every year after tree planting. 3 months of it, we embark on spot weeding. We go around the belt of the forest so that there will be no bushfire in it, and also we go inside the forest to see the progress of the planted one. So this is why we have a lot of plant trees that are escaping.
Okay. So when did you start this process? We want to know, because I've on the video, Gajaga mentioned it's a yearly event.
Yes.
Can you tell us when did you start this?
Yes, we started in 2017 together with partners, the Global Youth Innovation Network in Gambia, Department of Forestry, NEMA project. We started in 2017, and 2018 to 2019 we have 5,000 trees. We planted 5,000 trees in a day. So all this from 2017 to date, or to this year, we've planted almost 16,000 trees. Yes.
Interesting. It's not a matter of only planting trees, but it's a matter of not to forget where you slipped, as our proverb said. What leads to the cutting down of these trees? Who are the people who does this action?
Yeah, these are our own people who does it, and they're doing it is not deliberate, because they want to put food on the table. So in order to avoid this planting, we have what we call planting fruit trees. This is why last year we conducted an embargo that we call plant a fruit tree to put food on the table. So these fruit trees will discourage those doing the cutting to now venture into collecting the fruit, selling them, and have income for themselves.
Okay.
So this is that's why we're having it last year.
So Saja, that is one, Mr. Jaju, sorry for addressing you, Saja. I know there is one actually mechanism that you can use to prevent people from cutting down trees. That is to actually give them a chance to get these fruits, sell them, and get the money. But another thing is that people need charcoal, and I know there are new developments in relation to an alternative to charcoal. So is your organization into that initiative as to training locals in relation to that? Because it seems it's a big organization.
Yeah, we've started it in 2017 when we invited one woman in around Yarambamba. I forgot, but his name is Aisatu. He does this charcoal processing, you know, but in an environment friendly way. So we invited him almost two years, but still we could not get her. But we hope, you know, one day he will come up and train our young people and also elderly who are into it. Yeah.
Okay, we understand it's not easy to do these things alone.
Yeah.
Do you have any organization that you're partnering, the Department of Forestry, or anything that has to do with tree planting, you know, NGOs? Do you have any?
Yes, we do. We previous talking, I mentioned Gene Gambia. I also mentioned the Department of Forestry. Large of the seedlings that we planted have been given us by Department of Forestry. We also have initiative that we normally grow our own seedling, and also we have this year we went to the customers the border. You know, we are at the border to collect the Sibo seedlings. I don't know whether you know it, Sibo.
Sibo, that's the palm.
The
palm tree.
Not the palm tree. There is another one, but it's found in the bush.
Okay.
You know, so we collected that one because when we were young, our parents were using it to roof our house.
Roofing, yes.
Yeah. So in order not to, and we are losing it in our area.
Yeah.
So in order to bring it back, we went to customers to collect it, and this year we've planted almost 1,000.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, I think we've talked about environment a lot. Moving on, just want to understand if your organization also ventures into other areas. I know it's good that the environment should be looked after, which is a good move. So any other area of interest for Block Kaponga Youth
Yes, for Block
Development
Kaponga, I think since inception, since of starting in 2015, we've been doing a lot of development in the community. We've lobbied a 5-hectare garden for our women, and right now we have 200 young and old women working there, trying to put food on the table. We've also looked at when they produce these vegetables, they don't have a place to sell it. So we also erect not a standard one, but a local market where they can, when they produce, they can sell it. We've also linked them with other stakeholders, those into Chile, we call it I forgot the name of the company, but they venture into Chile.
Oh.
Yes, so
great.
We've connected with them. The name is Habib, and so that this guy will supply them with the seedlings, and then they grow. After when they stage of harvesting, the guy will come and sell it from, buy it from them.
From them?
Yes.
Okay.
So that connection, that linkage is we're trying to establish. So we only have one, but we're hoping to see more of Gambian companies venturing into such, so that we can connect them with our farmers.
Janawa, it's a very good initiative, creating the environment and creating the market. Yeah. Tell us your challenges.
We have a lot of challenges.
A lot of them, Janawa. Okay. He said they have a lot of challenges.
So another question on top of that is, what keeps you going?
It's hard work and determination. Because whatever we do, we've seen some impact on it. So this is what keeps us going. But the challenges we're facing right now, even to train our own people, we don't have place to train our women and youth because we normally conduct training on the good practices in agriculture, and also training on the gender-based violence, and we normally hire or invite Women's Bureau to do that for us. But we cannot do it during rainy season. We can only do it after rainy season because of the place where to have this. So if we can have a place, we already have a place where we can do it, but to erect a building where our people can sit comfortably and listen to lectures or presentations. We also don't have the muscles, the financial muscles to do a lot of our programs, because even the seedling sometimes we may target, because in 2018 we've targeted to plant 5,000 trees. You know, so but then due to availability of seedlings, we have to go deep to the forest to collect the seedlings, and what we reserve, what we grow, it's not enough to have the seedlings. So if we can have a place, a nursery area where we can grow our seedlings, so that in the near future we can plant more.
Okay.
Even our forest, our forest, it's not fenced. And whenever we plant, there are animal intrusion coming to step on these seedlings. So it's really...
Just quickly, I know time is up. Where is the money coming from? The little money
that
you're using right now to implement some of your projects?
That's from fundraisings, because we do cultural shows. Yes. We also do contributions, and also our people in diaspora, those who recently went to Bagwe, and though they don't have that much capacity but they are trying. You know, in every of our program, they normally send us some.
Okay, but are you also advocating against the back way? You just talked about the fact plain that the people who went to the back way are helping, but are you also disconnecting young people as a youth organization?
We're doing that because during our sensitization on gender-based violence and irregular migration, we have cinemas to play where we play dangerous movies, so that these young people, the smaller one, can see the danger if you're taking this route.
So I think it's good that as an organization you're doing that as well, because it's a youth organization, and youth are the people who normally go through the back.
Next time you have that fundraising.
I want to attend the cultural festival. I like it.
Especially the Jola Cultural Festival. It's a beautiful one. I like Bukarabu. You do Bukarabu?
No.
The Bukarabu dance. I love that.
When somebody Jola be dance,
thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, sir, for coming. We really appreciate your time. Sajo Jaju there, Secretary General of Block Kapongo Youth Development Association. So viewers, we will take a short commercial break, and on social issues today we'll be taking a look at Human Trafficking 2021 Trafficking in Persons Report. Do stay tuned.
With Aji Bank, you can make your vehicle number plate payments without any hassle. Walk into any of our bank branches or agencies located at Banjul, New Joswang, Karaba Avenue, Bakote, Tranquil Brusubi, Brikama, Base, Farafenye, Numuyel or Garawol. Your number plate payments now made easy with Aji Bank. For more information, please call us on 422-8405 or 377-5811. Aji Bank, your investment partner. Now, with Aji Bank, you can make your vehicle number plate payments without any hassle. Walk into any of our bank branches or agencies located at Banjul, New Joswang, Karaba Avenue, Bakote, Tranquil Brusubi, Brikama, Basse, Farafenye, Numuyel or Garawol. Your number plate payments now made easy with Aji Bank. For more information, please call us on 422-8405 or 377-5811. Aji Bank, your investment partner. Now.
Viewers, from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. Now we're joined by Yusuf Asanyan, Communications Officer, Natib. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be taking a look at human trafficking in persons, particularly the 2021 Trafficking in Persons report. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Sanyang. If you've been following developments in relation to human trafficking, you would understand that Gambia is now at Tier 2. It means Gambia does not meet the minimum standards required for the elimination of human trafficking in persons, but has few efforts put in place for the elimination. In 2019, we were at Tier 3, which means it was really bad for us, and at some point we suffered some cut funding from the United Nations. And also in 2020, we are upgraded to Tier 2, and now we're at Tier 2 watch list. So first of all, what we want to understand is the rankings of the US in relation to the tier that you are. How is this ranking determined? How is it done?
Thank you very much, Jennifer. I am Yusufa, like you mentioned. I serve as the Communication Database Officer at the National Agency Against Trafficking in Persons. Looking at the tier rankings, it has Tier 3, it has Tier 2, it has Tier 2 whitelist, and it has Tier 1. So when you look at the rankings of where the Gambia falls, the Gambia falls at Tier 2 whitelist, and this is the second time. Meaning when we have the same procedures with regards to the efforts that were being done by the agency, we might fall back to Tier 3, which is the worst form of any country might imagine to fall. So working on those, NATIP is an agency, National Agency Against Trafficking in Persons, working under the purview of Ministry of Justice. Its efforts in combating human trafficking as a mandate is working under the 4 Ps, which is the prevention, the protection, the partnership, and the prosecution. So these are areas, strategic areas in which the agency needs to make efforts to see that it has work accordingly with all the 4 Ps, like I just mentioned. So when you address these 4 Ps, like prevention campaigns, do all these activities, going out, making awareness campaigns, sensitization, capacity building, and more like. On the protection side, which is was under the purview of the Department of Social Welfare, but now under the Ministry of Gender.
Okay, yes. Mr. Sanyang, I guess we will come into that. You will talk about some of the things that you have in place in relation to fighting trafficking persons. But firstly, we just want to understand the rankings, you know. We are at Tier 2 watch list, and it means that we do not meet the minimum standards in relation to the elimination of human trafficking. But there are little efforts being done. Why is it that we cannot reach the minimum standards required for the elimination of human trafficking persons?
Yeah, by virtue of the report, you can see that they critically stipulated prosecution and conviction. Meaning NATIP and its partners, government and civil societies, have worked on efforts with regards to trafficking in persons to combat. So meaning if those efforts are done, investigation and other things, like I mentioned, are done to a certain level. Now it comes to where it has a procedure. Okay, when it's good, let me explain this so that you will understand why. Okay, so when an informant have a case, you refer to NATIP or any police station, because all the police stations that we have in the Gambia, they have what they call a child welfare unit. So a child welfare officer is, these are officers that will, they are stationed at office with regards to child issues and then vulnerability when it comes to forms of abuse and so. So these are strategies in which NATIP also see that in collaboration with the police, the immigration, the GRA, they can have these people reported to cases to those required places. So when you report a case, it comes to the desk of NATIP. That is when the investigators take it up. So they have a witness statement where you will have to also explain your case, and then it's also taking into statements. And in those statements, just to make it fast, those statements, you will see that the investigators will also have the statements written, and then because they need to know the facts, the opinions, so that they can have findings. So those findings are what are collated together to now being sent to the executive director for legal opinion. But in looking for a prima facie case, so if you have, let's say, a potential trafficking case, like we are seeing that, okay, there are elements in the case that we've seen that there is a form of an act, means, and the purpose. Now we are seeing it as a potential trafficking case. This is when it is now forwarded to the legal department. So the legal department is under the Ministry of Justice.
Okay. But Ibrahim, I just want to ask the same question again. I just want to know, because I feel like the question is not answered. I just want you to tell me specifically, what is the problem? Why is it that we do not meet the minimum standard? Let it be in a sentence or just a word, just for us to know where the problem lies.
That's why I will refer you back to the report when it said, as per the report, and as per how we're working, there is no conviction.
So the conviction...
So we have prosecutions at the level of the court, at the level of Ministry of Justice, where the state councils will have to follow up and then having cases. Now at the court, there is still no conviction. Okay?
So it's the conviction aspect.
Yes.
Thank you for making that clear.
Okay, let's look at your area of work generally. We have people that came and allege that NATIP is not doing much when it comes to their cases. It is alleged. What's your response to that?
Yes. When I hear that NATIP is not doing much efforts with regards to combating human trafficking, or our cases are not being heard, we did not see conviction, we did not have access to justice, yes, we will understand it's open, it's viral, it's on the media, it's on social media, but NATIP is still reminding people that you need to report to the agency, or you report to any various police station like I mentioned, and then referrals to be made to reach to the desk of NATIP. When it reaches there, now your statement is being captured like a case of human trafficking, a potential one. So as per the investigation goes, that is when we can say that you have a case with NATIP. But outside, where NATIP is not involved, or on social media, to be frank enough, as representing the government body, I will not refer it as a case because it's just outside.
Okay, but you talked about that these cases are just outside and reported on social media. But what about cases that have been reported and it's alleged that the required attention that it deserves is not given to it? Because if you watched This Morning a few weeks ago, we had a guest here and she talked about the fact that she reported a case to NATIP and one of the investigators told her, Li du sori, paske ki li moy ligeyam.
So she was on this program.
Yes, so what do you have to say in relation to that?
Yes, maybe that is on the program, but that is not said at the office. Okay, you know, I believe in what they mean, factual reports. Okay, there is an investigator that said that to you it is under this morning so. It is also, for me, if I were in that position, I would name the person that said that to me to make it very clear. You know, when you come to Natip and then you say, okay, we are looking for Yusuf Sanyang, and then I will be like, I am here. Okay, you were the guy that said to this so-so victim that it's a case, be do sorry. Now, that is the attention. We are not there individually. We are there to serve the government and then the state at large. Just to remind, like the person actually, can I also elaborate in the Wolof?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Come, sa case we do sorry. I don't think it's definitely a good practice when it comes to staff, because already stigmatize the victim, and now I'm discriminating. I'm even making her or him or her in fact reluctant to the extent of do not even think of referring your case. So it's good degala Natip mumfa why come I don't think nit ki warna ñew to the extent of mu discourage la. Okay. Wow, comme li liggéeyam. That means yow sa yaa ngi encourage kooku pour mu gën a liggéey ci li mo def. Yes.
Dama bëggoon ñu xam. Comme is there any point that Natip xam ngeen ne am na ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi def business bi ci dëkk bi fii?
Non, ñëpp ñoo xam ne dañ nekk di def business bi te dañ leen because soo reporté case leen dee mën a xam. Because yow da nga ko dee mention ne diw moo jaar si suma lii wala moo receive lii moo ma ne ma dem uti passport dafa am benn waaye bu nekk si biti like Lebanon or Kuwait or wheresoever ne comme kooku noonu mu ma bugg a dimbale because noonu la dee demee so loolu lañ dee mun a dégga sa lu bëri yëpp si ndimbal la te da nga dee gis ne lii lu bëri sa daf dee nekk ñoo xam ne sa they are related to you, understand? So that close relationship bi tamit dafa dee work. So comme dina leeral lii tamit comme tey nga report a case Natip nga andi ko the first day bi nga ñëwee tamit xam nga you were ready to, but lu dee ñëw mujjee is also important pour ñu xam mooy ne dama report suma case bi so ñu realize ne because soo ñëwee rek investigators yi dañ la ko dee tegal dañ la dee wan ne sa case bi nii la waaye tamit lii ak lii jaar-jaar ji bii moo fa nekka waaye to be frank with you Gambian bi lu mu bañ a dégga mooy court.
Okay.
Wow, you just mentioned it.
I talked about that.
Wow.
Because suñ déggee ne court la now nit ki daf la wax ne man moom yëfi court moom bokkuma si man xam nga lan laa soxla suma xaalis laa soxla te lu war a dal kooku noonu let's say the prosecution and conviction boobu moom yoonam nekku si bu baax because xaalisam bi la talaangum waaye comme two things la Natip nekkut foofu noonu pour arrange pour yow nga jot sa xaalis and then the next thing ñun duñ am a case.
Okay.
ñun nuñ dee déggee lii noonu la ñu dee métier si xool
leneen tamit nañ ko seetaat nañ seetaat leneen wax nga ne Gambian si yëfi court bëgguñ koo dégga waaye ndax yow nangu nga ne tamit xëj na there are instances yoo xam ne am na case boo xam ne mu ngi si kanami court bi te victime bi pare na pour testify ba pare du jëm kanam waaw wala déedéet
non maybe suma xamee ban xam nga fu mu nekk nii we cannot name victims
bul name waaye dama laa ne rek
musuñ ko xalaat
explain mooy
because in the report tamit gis nañ ne ñu ne Natip dañ dee victimize the victims to the extent of comme seen credential wala seen names yi man musuma koo gis because as far as I am concerned I am in charge of collating all the data with regards to files and of potential cases. So it's there no point where the case report says a name of blah blah as a victim, Nini and Ni. So in your report, we don't even mention.
Wow, nañ delluwaat ci question bi li ma laajte mooy
ba pare même rek ba pare man sax si seen data report yu noonu xam nga Natip it's a very important institution si dëkk bi fii yéen lañ sentu yéen la ñoo xool one of your seen benn member ñëwoon na on suñu gaale I think you can remember that ñëwoon na foofu waaye moom luñ ko laajte dégg naa mu ngeen ne balaa maa ñëw lii balaa maa ñëw this means record yi nga xam ne defoon na balaa moo ñëw moom amut si any idea te lii dafa nekk li nga xam ne dañ ko war a follow up lu happen even in the year 2000 loolu yëpp soo fa ñëwee da nga ko war a am yéen seen record si nu mu dee demee because dafa am case yi nga xam ne xew na si gannaaw moom su xamut yooyu noonu dafa mel ni yooyu dañ leen a trace noonu
waa dëgg baax na tamit ngeen am ma si programme bi man maa ngi brief on that time so suma colleague dëgg la he is an attaché moom mu ngi jógee in the immigration because native nu mel dafa am these stages but moom investigator la so investigator si soo xoolee si trafficking act bi we don't have the mandate understand nga so luñ dee def mooy we borrow from our partners like fu mu nekk nii we have like four of them from the police we have 3 of them from the immigration 3 from the SIS xam nga joined together boobu moo form the investigation office so moom he is part of the personnel that came into the last batch during 2019 so wax na dëgga when you look at the trafficking let's say case report dafa start man 2013 laa join foofu noonu I was here working as a lecturer before so then ma join native bu ma fa joine in 2013 case yu ma fa fekka started in 2011 okay the 2011 to 2013 we had 4 cases yoo xam ne benn bi moom tamit demoon na to that level which involves a girl child ba pare papa bi ñu am arrangement buñ kii pour mu dem Angola pour mu dem sëy so ya nga gis ne that's like child marriage so and then loolu tamit dañ ko toppa to the extent bañ am the level of remand with the parents there okay so another tamit amoon na boo xam ne moo tax ñu am bilateral cooperation with Senegal we have these almudus that come in to the Gambia so ñëwee dañ dee nekk di yelawaan si yoon bi so distract a lot of people so in that instance we have 13 children from Nyamakuta ñoo xam ne dañ dugga si waaye government luñ def social welfare immigration and the Ministry of Justice ñoom ñoo join together ñu am xale yooyu noonu repatriate leen back to the settlement.
Yeah, man dama bëgg a delluwaat si suma question bi because dañ ne
so doo bàyyi ma laal cases yi
déedéet cases yi am nañ yooyu ñun xëj na fii tey core issues yi moo ñu itteel
waaw definitely
waaw te topic bi is about the 2021 trafficking persons report man li ma bëgg a understand mooy yow leeral nga ne according to the report convictions moo amut moo tax ñu nekk tier 2 watch list so dama bëgg a understand wax nga ne
for the 2 consecutive years
dañoo dem tier 3 and we will talk about the repercussions after this
definitely
so li ma bëgg a understand mooy wax nga ne Gambian bi bëggut court te loolu dafa dee tax conviction du mun a am man li ma bëgg a leeral mooy ndax loolu rek moo nekk barrière pour conviction bu mu am ndax sometimes victime bi du dee pare pour wax and then case bi jëluñ ko as a priority man foofu laa ko bëgg a xamee because bëgguma ñu génn fi conclude ne because Gambian baa bëggut court rek conviction du dee am understand nga bëgguma ñu lee ko on
man tamit doguma la because soo gisee si suma wax bi si yooyu laa nekkoon di dem but xam nga like dangaa gis ne 2 parts la ba tey it's all normal dégg la wax naa loolu waaye soo gisee tamit lu waral loolu maa na ko start di la tegal ne mbooka nice bi ak yeneen yi loo xam ne tamit dem nga ba at some level nga ne ok yow sa xaalis nga sool xam nga léegi ñu we talking about the victim xam nga lu tam mu bañ a proceed wala mu bañ a ñëw ok wala nga call victim bi mu ne la tey awma pass wala tey du ma mun a ñëw because dama feebar and then te kooku victim la doo ko mun a dem jëli like a perpetrator understand su fekkee perpetrator moo la nekk di jox excuse then you go out proactively to go and find the perpetrator and then let's say the accused person and then you bring the person before waaye su fekkee ne victim la you just have to comply with them with regards to the excuses that you have waaye court hearing bi su ñëwee daf dee ñëw mu appear and then we carry on.
Okay, so you're saying ne blame bi is on victims, not
victims are not compliant.
They are not compliant. So there's no instant whereby a victim complied, ñu dem taxaw ci courtroom bi and case bi is not taken.
There was an instance when the victim complied and they started going to court. But at some point, she couldn't
comply.
Yes.
Continue.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let's do this. Li suma ko laaj yow jeena ba. Du ma muna comfortable.
Du muna comfortable.
Am jigen bu fa ñëwoon. Mention na tur. Why no need to mention the name.
Okay.
Okay. Daf ko allege ne kii moo ko yóbbu. Understand nga. So yan investigations ngeen nekk di def currently on that case?
At this level, su fekkee ne my memory can serve me, su fekkee ne with the suma colleague bu fi ñëwoon.
Wow.
Jigéen bu fi ñëwoon. Case am bi is part of the cases of the Gambian girls, the 2019 Gambian girls that have their case in with NATIP. Okay. Mom bosam bi like comme noko waxe dafa mention tour. At this level, it is at the level of legal proceedings. Okay, for legal opinion. Te lolu fofu la neka, si stage bobu la neka. Investigations bi wone na ne there is prima facie case, meaning act, means and purpose are all identified. So meaning, like so at the level of NATIP, we are hopeful that we need to get a conviction from it. You understand? Why? Okay, the victim herself, if my memory also can serve me, ñëw na foofu noonu waaye daf like comme pour mu ñëwaat foofu noonu mënuma remember kañ la dellu si waat waaye moom sax xam na ne jigéen bu moo mention or the accused person bu moo mention ñëw na foofu noonu te tamit accept na ne moom
moo ko traffic.
Yes, not like moo ko traffic waaye receive na xaalis si moom communicate na ak keneen somewhere pour kii mu mun a move from the Gambia.
waaye loolu naka nga ko ooyee trafficking wala dafa am beneen tur?
That's what I'm saying. danga ko ooyee trafficking.
Okay.
So moom accept na
Gambia, let's say we don't have what they call traffickers, we have what we call agents. Okay. Because danga serve as an agent. Because soo ñëwee nga laaj ma dama man xaalis bi rek lañ ma wane pour ma receive. Understand? Because danga laaj nit ki mu ne la man musuma xam ne trafficking am na. Do you understand? So now the blame comes to like NATIP. They are not telling people what human trafficking is, or they are not going out to the public. But since bima fa join ak legi, duma la muna kontel ñaata yoon lañ génna sa biti to advocate. To talk to.
Xam nga sometimes man dama foog ne NATIP send communication bi dafa des de. Yow yaay PRO bi yaa nekk di head communications. Foog naa ne da ngeen war a jóg ngeen taxaw radio yaa ngi fii télé yaa ngi fii. Ngeen sensitise nit ñi bu leen dem fii ku leen ne lii bu ko def bul def nii seetal balaa ngaa def lii fooguloo loolu ngeen war a def.
Yes, loolu lañ war a def. Because bi ma ñëwee mention naa I have mentioned the prevention, the protection, the prosecution and the partnership. Mention naa loolu. And then part of the prevention mooy pour make sure law enforcement officers yi the civil society, the community grassroots at the local level ñoom ñëpp dañ war a xam luy trafficking in persons. Te suñ ko xamee it makes it more easy. Because when you look at what they call the rings of responsibility, it talked about like the child in the middle. Te like family bi tamit moo ko cover. Then nga am the community bu fa nekka. Then you have the nation, which is the Gambia, and international. International, moneka like illegal documents you hamne. Those are the agreements when it comes to the Palermo Protocol. Bo hamne bobu mota be NATIP am lunyo TIP Act, which is enacted in 2007 by an act of parliament.
Okay.
Yes. PRO, you have a lot to do.
Yeah, so
especially you.
Yeah, major title the PRO.
So we want to also understand some of the consequences in relation to Gambia falling at tier 3. I think it's important that you talk about this. So ko defé ñun as citizens dinañ jël ownership pour xex ko. Maybe yow dinga ko mëna xex with your next door neighbor or anyone. So lan moy consequences if ñun suñu waré dem tier 3 as a country?
Definitely baaxut because at some point suñ boppa yi ñu ngi tàngoon si level boo xam ne we have to like go in and out of the State House. Understand the Department of Delivery and Strategic Policy. Dañ fa dee dem di am meetings because comme ni nga ko mentionné dafa am loo xam ne ñu ko téye because without NATIP doing the efforts duñ mën a am funds yooyu noonu so da ngaa gis ne loolu tamit dañ ko jàpp So I guess it's like the country will be at stake when it comes to like financial issues, economic, why man dina ko ban back on let's say the consequences is about naka lañ wara strategize suñ approach. Degala fofu lay liggéey waaye approach bi tamit naka ngay targeté nit because all the time so jaar si mbaga bi nga gis ne like mbaga bi is not a approach boo xam ne dina mun a jaar si nit ki jaaral si suuf tamit nga xool yeah so like it's just that but you can see just recently last week NARIP in collaboration with an international organization launched what they call the NRM. NRM is the National Referral Mechanism.
Yeah.
So boo xam ne boobu tamit daf ñoo handle because it's a guiding tool. Boo xam ne the standard operating procedures tamit dinañ ko mun a xool foofu noonu. Because mu ngi refer to the protection of vulnerable migrants, which includes trafficking in persons.
Okay.
Understand? People in regards to human trafficking.
Okay.
So nga gis ne suñ munee address loolu noonu yëpp ñu am loo xam ne it's going to be a guiding tool. Man suma report through lii te doo si mun a tapale because you're taking these things. And then these things are going to be captured at all levels. Where, like, let's say the borders, when we have a case, you have the stages with regards to your standard operating procedure documents in NUMFA.
Okay.
So initial stage law war a record. So referral bi dafa easy.
Okay.
So xam nga man duma si mun a def loo xam ne dafa because it's all stipulated. It's like ticking and moving forward.
Okay.
Te emuñ foofu noonu it has to go outside the Gambia.
Okay.
Understand? Suñ consulate yoo xam ne they are all over the world. For xam ne Gambian moom fa as an ambassador. ñoom tamit they need to be aware on all this.
Okay.
Because CBT we have what we call like the incoming, like nit yi dañ dee dugga si Gambia and then trafficking occurs. So xoolee tamit nit yi dañ dee génn Gambia, trafficking occurs. And then we have internal, not only outside, but internal tamit daf dee am. So lii dafa nekk loo xam ne nit yi dañ war a understand all these things. Suñ ko xamee, it makes it very easy.
Waaw dafa mel ni time bi moom jeex na torop waaye another very important point bu ma bëgg nga laal in 1 minute rek parce que jeex na ba pare mooy COVID-19 naka la affecté human trafficking persons because gis nañ ne COVID-19 bi bu mu ñëwee attention bi yëpp si COVID-19 la dem because of loolu jamono moo ko laaj parce que feebar bi pandemic la te métti woon na so naka la affecté human trafficking liggéey bi pour mun a toppa sarta ak yooyu noonu.
ok bu num affecté liggéey bi is on two parts. So xoolee pandemic bi mana yow ak keneen ñun musuñ koo xelaat understand waaye dañ dee seetaan yeneen movie yoo xam ne laf dee nekk ay virus issues series movie ba pare fooguñ ne pandemic bi like corona dina musa am so buñ ko déggee ñun tamit dañ ko dégga feneen noonu la ñëwee ba egg si Africa ok waaye da ngaa gis ne liggéey bi with regards to trafficking on one side it's like let's say it's booming somehow because suma kippee nit léegi ñu ngi ñoo wax ne do not have social gatherings so like movement bi dafa desoon at some point Gambia plane do they now di dugga di génna so mun na happen internally because mana yow we are sitting at home and then we have all those flyers stay at home so duma xam ne am na lu nekk di xew si beneen béréb understand waaye tamit su fekkee ne tamit in another way dafa limit because traffickers yoo xam ne they were able to move from one country to another or let's say from a jurisdiction to another jurisdiction da nga gis ne ñooñu mënuñoo move they can only channel through communication yes so moo tax ma ne la it's on two parts.
All right so due to time constraints moom waxtaan bi dafa mel dañ koo emale fii waaye Ibrahima foog naa kii koo xam ne la war nañ koo taf si programme bi because human trafficking dafa important
PRO dafa ñëwaat
waaw PRO foog mu ñëwaat gën a leeral ay mbir waaye ñu ngi laa jaajëfal si mbir yi nga xam ne leeral nga ko because am na yu bari yu wax about the courts misconception la woon xam nga so daf dee baax pour ñu am conversations as such Ibrahima
Jenaba xam nga programme soo gisee ñu ngi leen a invite dañ bëgg rek ñu resolve difference ñii xam lu nekk di dox ñi tam xam ko di nga gis duñ mun a réeroo suñu waxtaanut dañoo réeroo you know so moo tax mooy purpose bi moo tax nga ñëw si programme bi kontaan nañ trop thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much Mr. Sanyang, Communications Officer of NATIP. So we were discussing the 2021 Trafficking Persons Report and we will now go for a short commercial break and Ibrahima when we come back we will take a look at the entertainment update and we will joined by Skengman Sweezy. A lot of seriousness, so let's have a little bit of fun as well. Do stay tuned.
Q Money, the biggest mobile money service in the Gambia, has taken mobile banking to the next level. Now, you can link your Q Money wallet with your bank account. Yes, link your Ajib or EcoBank accounts with your Q Money wallet and get instant access to your cash anytime. No need to queue at the bank anymore. Transfer funds from your bank account to your wallet or your wallet to your bank account using Q Money Bank Link is the fastest, most secure, and convenient way to transfer funds between your wallet and bank account. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
On 3244444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm for all your advertisement needs. QTV Gambia, right place. Right time, right place, right price. Promote your product, business, and brand to millions of viewers nationwide or across the globe. Call QTV Marketing on 3244444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm for all your advertisement needs. QTV Gambia, right place.
The best product in town is back. QCell's MiFi router. Get the best MiFi in the country for just $2,800 and connect up to 15 users with 4G internet speeds and a long-lasting battery life. So rush now to any of our customer care locations and get the best for less while stocks last. For more info, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Boss, the Gambia's quality network. We innovate, others follow.
Your favorite mobile service has done it again. Now, you can buy cash power with your Q Money account, free of charge. Yes, you heard me right, for free. Nothing is cheaper than free. So start buying your cash power from the comfort of your homes with unbeatable services Q Money has to offer. With Q Money, life is easy. Visit your nearest Q Money agent to cash in or call customer care on 133 for more information. Don't forget to wash your hands with soap after handling cash. Stay home, stay clean, stay safe. Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe. We innovate, others follow.
With Aji Bank, you can make your vehicle number plate payments without any hassle. Walk into any of our bank branches or agencies located at Banjul, New Joswang, Karaba Avenue, Bakote, Tranquil Brusubi, Brikama, Basse, Farafenye, Numuyel or Garawal. Your number plate payments now made easy with Aji Bank. For more information, please call us on 422-8405 or 377-5811. Aji Bank, your investment partner. Q Money, the biggest mobile money service in the Gambia, has taken mobile banking to the next level. Now, you can link your Q Money wallet with your bank account. Yes, link your Ajib or EcoBank accounts with your Q Money wallet and get instant access to your cash anytime. No need to queue at the bank anymore. Transfer funds from your bank account to your wallet or your wallet to your bank account using Q Money Bank Link is the fastest, most secure, and convenient way to transfer funds between your wallet and bank account. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply. Want more in your bundle? At QCell, the biggest, fastest, and most reliable mobile operator, we've got you covered with Sunyu Bundle. With Sunyu Bundle, dial *303# and get the bundle of your choice. Sunyu Bundle, affordable, fast, and reliable. QCell, we innovate, others follow.
Step into the future of television with sleek and slim design Samsung Smart TVs, ranging in size from 32 to 75 inches. and in different technology. Smart LED, Crystal UHD, Ultra High Definition, and QLED Quantum Dot LED. Get new ways of interacting with your TV as our TVs offer an unparalleled vision adventure from the comfort of your living room. Ultra Viewing Angle, powerful picture quality, web browser, gallery, EarthNet LAN, wireless LAN built-in, Bluetooth, screen mirroring technology, mobile on TV mirroring, built-in voice assistance, Wi-Fi direct. Not only that, our TVs are backed with 12 months warranty and we are currently on a promotion. Contact us on 333-3217.
Welcome back, viewers, from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning, and without wasting any time, we'll be heading right on to the entertainment update. Click.
I'm out. I'm about, man. It's about to go down.
Yeah.
It's the Click segment, and I'm Skengman Sweezy, man. It comes your way from Monday to Thursday, and today's episode we have a guest in the studio, man. He is Jackie Art. He's an artist, actually. He does drawing, and then he does designing again as well. But I'm not going to say much. Let's just watch some of the work that he's been doing. And when we come back, we keep it going, man.
I love it how you smile and I want to. Love it how you shine and I want to. We can kick back if you want to. You could take your sweet time if you want to. Love it how you style and I'm diva, you know. Ariana, Justin Bieber, you know. Give me that whiskey fever, you know. Anyway you make that scenery go. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. She wanna make love and hate at the same time. Baby, I can't take when it ain't mine. Girl, your love feel like a hate crime. Yeah, baby, therefore we change minds. I see you, and I want you, girl, I can't leave it. I can't decide, I can't read you. Got me hypnotized when you tease me. I love it how you style and I want to. Love it how you shine and I want to. We can kick back if you want to. You can take your sweet time if you want to. Love it how you style and I'm diva, you know. Ariana, Justin Bieber, you know. Give me that whiskey fever, you know. Anyway you make that scenery go. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No stress trying to mix you with this Hennessy. Playing chess, baby, you know you a centerpiece. No rest, good loving, give me energy. You love it best when we enemies. So say my name, baby, say my name. When no one is around, girl, you not the same. Baby, how you do it, driving me insane. I'm entertained. I love it how you style and I want to. Love it how you shine and I want to. We can kick back if we want to. You can take your sweet time if you want to. Love it how you style and I'm diva, you know. Ariana, Justin Bieber, you know. Give me that whiskey fever, you know. Anyway you make that scenery go. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Girl, I'm just in love with you. How you make them fall for you?
That was it, man. And we have Jackie Art in the studio with us today. He's the CEO and co-founder of Jackie Art. Jackie, welcome to the show, bro.
Thanks, man.
So tell us a bit about you, man. Who is Jackie?
Well, there's not much to say, but I'm Jackie.
So, what got you into art, actually, Jackie?
Let's say art. It's a part of my. It's a part of me. Let's say I've been drawing since I was a kid. Since, let's say I was a lad. I was into arts, painting, drawing, anything, you name it. Whatever's connected to art, I just feel like I'm part of it.
So, what I want to know actually is, did you study art or it was just something that came in you?
Before my studying. Yeah.
You're free to speak Wolof, man, so that viewers outside can hear actually what you're saying.
Okay.
I think we have to do this in the local language. It's very important actually. So Hamga, you made this for us today, which is really unique, and Geneva has theirs as well.
I have mine here, and I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jackie. I love this.
This is
so pretty, and it's so African. The fact that there's African print, it's absolutely pretty.
I'm seeing some of the design on it.
Exactly.
So Jackie, gis na yaa ngi binda ne foog ñu tekki Gambia te yow yaa ngi def lii yaa ngi nekk ndaw di def lii di ko jaay so yow yan stratégie nga nekk di put in place pour mun a tekki Gambia because yow gëm nga ne ndaw yi nañ fi mun a tekki ak naka la mun a nekkee.
And secondly, tamit yow tamit you are youth. yaa ngi si Gambia bi you doing your thing as well. So explain to us that a bit.
The thing is, I can't explain it, but I'm just trying. Just like every Gambian youth, just not to be hanging around the streets and other stuff.
You can say the Wolof.
Dama try pour dire def lu ma mun rek nix mi seet bàyyi yëpp si loxo yàlla.
Exactly. So that was Jackie in the studio with us today.
Yeah. Buba. Yeah. You see, talent. It's something. It's God gift. You understand? am na ñi nga xam ne am nañ talent bi. Maybe man ak Jena ba tey dañoo toog ci TV bi. ñu wax lu ñu ne ñu waxee nu ñu ne. waaye fekk amuñ this talent. xam nga ku nekk dafa am lu la yàlla may.
It's a different kind of talent.
Understand nga?
Yeah.
xoolal bi mu ne ñun la.
ñun la.
I like those words. xam nga loolu dafa gina
bennoo nekk benn.
And secondly, if you check, so it's like he's using the Gambian local language to brand his stuff as well.
So xam naa Buuba dama laa ñëw join foofu noonu ñu close programme bi Ibrahima toppa ma.
waaw
il faut ma wone suma outfit bi tey. Because outfit bi Marifa ñoo ma ko providal as you can see. lii nekk loo xam ne dafa nice torop ba pare jekki di nga gis ne lii ma sol sax dafa xaw a nduru ak which means yow African rek nga bëgg a represent te ñu ngi laa encourage
suñ bëggee fekk jekki yow foo nekk soo bëggee designal nit ñi
façon design
maa ngi Kër
Kër Serigne dem leen fekki Jackie Kër Serigne kon man nag Marifa ma joxe nombaam bi di 382601 mooy 382601 Marifa ngeen am yi wala yu ko daala itam is from Walking Together shoes.
So Jackie, it was a pleasure having you in the studio. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you and we appreciate the design you made for us. But unfortunately we are out of time. Till we come your way tomorrow.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye.